This competition was not supposed to happen. Tyreek Hill, the Cheetah, is an NFL icon with a 4.2940, in-game speeds above 23 miles per hour, and a 100-meter win in 10.15 seconds. Versus IShowSpeed, the fastest content creator in the world, who nearly shocked the world by taking Olympic gold medalist Noah Lyles to the tape in a 50-meter dash. Two worlds that should never collide on the same course. But the gauntlet has been thrown, words have been said, and the only question left is, what happens when the NFL's fastest man meets the internet's fastest star? And one more twist we haven't talked about yet.
Work don't stop, man, just because you got a little fame. Work don't stop just because you got a little money in your pocket. That shit continues.
Before we can even start talking about Speed's future, we need to know who Tyreek Hill is. Because calling him fast is like calling the ocean wet, it doesn't even come close. Hill was born in Douglas, Georgia, and his speed was making headlines before he was even old enough to legally drive a vehicle. At high school, he was not only a football player, but also a track and field sensation. In 2012, competing at the Kansas Relays, he clocked a legal 200 meters in 20.14 seconds, a time that would have qualified him for the Olympics that year. That same spring, he ran a blistering 10.19 in the 100 meters. By the age of 18, Hill was already attracting attention from college recruiting and USA Track and Field. Football became his main stage, but track never left his toolkit. At the 2016 NFL Combine, Hill's official 40-yard dash time was 4.29 seconds. That wasn't just good, it was record-breaking. It placed him among the fastest in Combine history, on record, before he'd even played it down in the league. And while other players post quick Combine times and fade away, Hill's game speed proved to be even more deadly. In his initial season playing for the Kansas City Chiefs, he clocked 23.24 miles per hour on a return kick, among the fastest in NFL history. That wasn't a straight line run on a track, that was with a helmet, pads, and 11 defenders trying to tackle him. Even in 2024, almost 10 years into his playing career, he was still hitting top speeds of 22.01 miles per hour, ranking as one of the top 3 fastest ball carriers in the entire NFL season. Longevity at that level of explosiveness is almost unheard of. And Hill doesn't rely only on football-specific bursts of acceleration. In June of 2023, he ran the 100 meters at the Last Chance Sprint Series in California. Even with the year-round focus on football training, he utilized a 10.15-second effort to qualify for his heat. That's not a casual off-season training time period. That's a qualification time for national championship meets in most countries. It's proof that his peak speed and acceleration on the gridiron would immediately translate to the track. What is so intimidating about Tyreek in a race like this? It isn't just his ability to come on top speed, it's how quickly he gets there. In a 40 or 50 meter dash, the start and first 20 meters usually take the win. That part of the race is what Hill's mechanics are built for: explosive leg drive, forward lean, high turnover, and a sorcery-like ability to stay low and strong through his first 10 strides. It's why defenders so frequently appear defeated before he's even standing upright. And then there is the mentality. Tyreek's entire career has been an exercise in pressure maintenance. Super Bowls, playoff games, and night games against the best opponents. He's conditioned to play at maximum velocity in front of millions. He isn't fazed by clutch moments. Instead, he thrives on them. Every race, every route, every chase down tackle, it's just another chance to tell the world that Cheetah isn't a nickname, it's an admonishment. And yet, the reason that this potential matchup with IShowSpeed is so compelling is that Hill is not the only one who has something to prove. All his success, and he's never had to deal with someone like Speed, someone who is in the public eye not for titles, but for moments. His fanbase loves him for being the wild card that he is, and he thrives when the situation feels outside the walls. Which is to say, in a race, he's not just racing for a win, he's racing for an online video that can go viral for all eternity. For Tyreek Hill, the stakes are different but no less real. He knows that losing to some other NFL player is one thing, losing to a YouTuber, that's something different altogether. It wouldn't take away his NFL speed, but it would live in highlight reels and web rants for years to end. That is the kind of narrative a competitor like Hill will go out of his way to kill before it can take hold. That's why this is something more than a zany what if. Hill's credentials, they make him one of the world's deadliest short sprinters, period. And if he and Speed ever get in each other's faces on the same line, you can guarantee that Cheetah won't be coasting through it. He'll be running like his moniker was at stake, because, in a way, it is. Picture the starting line. On one hand, Tyreek Hill, off yet another NFL season, where his speed made ordinary plays look like highlight reels. On the other hand, there's IShowSpeed, the streamer whose name is a promise, the player who tested Olympic champion Noah Lyles in a 50-meter dash. This is a clash of two incompatible definitions of speed. Tyreek's is measurable in inches of separation from a defender, inches between his jersey and an outstretched cornerback's fingers. Speed is measurable in social media highlights, crowd noise, and the pause/virus before the game clock is stopped. But take away the helmets, the jerseys, and the livestream graphics, and both of them will be basing it all on the same thing, the first step. Tyreek's advantage is refinement. He's worked on exploding from the stance 1,000 times. His shin angle, forward lean, and initial force impact, they aren't God-given talents, they're the products of years of purposeful training. In a race that's only a matter of seconds, those subtleties can be the difference maker. His acceleration on the field is the stuff of myth. He doesn't need 20 meters to shift into high gear, he's deadly in the first 5, but speed isn't coming in blind. Against Noah Lyles, his start was why that race was so close. For the first 20 meters, he was stride for stride, right there with him. That unpolished but raw burst, that's what he'll be relying on to summon against Hill. It's not technical proficiency, it's explosiveness and intuition. He knows this is his time. If he's able to match Tyreek's early sprint, the race is a contest and not a coronation. The numbers represent a razor-thin margin. Tyreek's 100-meter run of 10.15 seconds threatens to see a 50-meter split in the low 5.8s. Speed's fastest time at 50 is 5.93. That's over a tenth of a second for one step. In terms of sprinting, that's within one bad start, one slip, or one perfect reaction to turn things around. And then there's the head game. Tyreek is used to lining up against the world's best athletes under the bright lights of stadiums for championships. He doesn't get flustered. Speed, by contrast, loves dirty, unpredictable moments. He's used to turning a crowd to him, to making a stage his own even when he's the underdog. That's something that can't be measured on a stopwatch, but can change the feel of a race. The stakes are easy to state, but high. For Tyreek, victory preserves the Cheetah throne and quiets any notion that a YouTuber can keep up with his explosion. For Speed, victory is career-changing evidence that his upset of an Olympic athlete was not an anomaly, and he can defeat one of the quickest men the NFL has ever known. And when the dreamy opening invitation invites them to the line, all is detail. Tyreek settles into his place as if it was second nature. Speed comes readily, eyes forward, adrenaline flowing. The air is dense, the track is too little for what is to come. One deep breath, one soothing exhale, and then, who knows? We have no idea who leaves first, but we do have an idea who goes fastest first. All we know is that if this race is run, it'll be over in the time it takes to blink, and the result will illuminate every corner of sports and online culture. Because this is not only a race, it's a clash of two worlds meeting head-on, full tilt. The NFL's most fearsome deep threat versus the web's most brazen threat, polish over years against uncut, uncensored explosiveness. Will the Cheetah hold tight, or will Speed shock the world and beat the quickest man in the NFL? That answer is still on the starting line, and when it does come along, it won't just close an argument. It'll turn over a new page in the infinite quest to find out who's really the fastest. And there's one more turn. This might not be the only test Speed has in store. If you want to be there when this race finally happens, or when Speed takes on whatever wild challenges come next, Make sure you're locked in. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and get ready for the next sprint, showdown, or surprise, whether it's on the track, the field, or somewhere we haven't even imagined yet.